pulled pork, bacon, queso, making trash can nachos. Okay, we're gonna start out with an onion and some butter. What we're gonna do is just throw the butter in the pot. We're gonna open up the onion, kind of give it like a really rough chop, throw that in a pot, add some garlic cloves, and melt it down. Start kind of like bruleeing the onion. We're gonna take it until it has, you know, not much color, maybe a little bit of color to it, but it's gonna be floppy, loose, translucent, and then we're gonna add stock, because I'm an idiot and I forgot milk. So this is what you do. Cut it in half, take that off, break the onion, throw the onion in. Cut it in half, right? Take off the outside. You don't need to mess with the onion. You take a couple garlic cloves, I don't know, like that many, throw them all in. So now that we have everything in the pot, we're just gonna throw it on the sidekick, melt the butter, start those onions off. We're just gonna throw this on, start that butter to melt using the sidekick. So we'll just let that go for a second. We're gonna add in some chipotle peppers with all of the adobo sauce. It's gonna give this queso a really great amount of color. It's also gonna give it the warm, smoky heat that we want. And then after this toast for a little bit with the chipotles and the butter, the onions develop all of that little translucent-y goodness. We're gonna add some flour and make our roux. Just break down these little stinking chipotle peppers. The more surface area on that butter, the better. You get this really awesome toasty color going on. So what you're looking for translucent, notice how all the onions have broken apart. They're very soft and pliable. They're starting to get really clear. Everything's toasting up really well. This is how you know that they're ready to move on to the next level. So now I'm gonna add in the flour to make the roux. And usually it's like 50-50, fat and flour, butter and flour. I say fat because you could use bacon grease or duck fat or whatever you wanted. In this case, we're obviously using butter, but. And we're just gonna eyeball it until it looks like a wet dough type of consistency. So you want it to look like this. Notice how it's clumping, but it's still wet. You wanna make sure there's no flour on the outside. So clean it up, incorporate it all in. Give it a little bit of a toast, remove that really floury flavor, you know? And for this, I totally forgot milk when I was shopping, but I had some beef stock laying around. So we're gonna see if I can beef stock it up, add some heavy cream and mix it with the cheese to make like a really flavorful, savory queso. You can see that roux already starting to incorporate. Obviously it needs to boil before, or at least simmer. It needs to come up the temperature and cook so it'll thicken. Gonna add in our heavy cream now. There you go. Now it kind of looks back toward that queso color. It'll work. Now that we have the cream in, we're gonna stick blend everything together, scoop up all that roux, the chipotle, the onion, we're gonna blend it all together, the garlic, that way it's thicker, less chunky, incorporated better. Add all that flavor and sweetness of the onion. Okay, come check this out. This is what you're looking for. See how the edges are starting to bubble and roll in, and it's gradually folding in? That's how we know that the roux is activating, it's thick and where it should be. Everything's good to go on it. You can see this velvety smoothness of it, and then the extra chunks of chipotle and onion, everything blended into it. Now that it's rolling over, we're gonna pull it while it's still super hot. We're gonna stick blend all our cheese into it. So we're prepping out some American cheese right now to throw in the queso. The queso is still ripping hot, just not boiling, right underneath that boiling area, sitting right here and chilling. I'm gonna add American cheese, some smoked mozzarella that we smoked on the Pro the other day. That's super awesome. We cold smoked it, and I have a block of sharp cheddar. I'm gonna add it in, I'm gonna chunk it up, add it in, stick blend it so it's all incorporated. It's gonna be super awesome. We'll make the nachos. If you wanna make this chipotle queso at home, check out our chipotle queso recipe, and the link's in the description below. So there's a bunch of cheese in here. Let's stick blend it up and mix it. We'll taste it and adjust the salt. Definitely needs salt. We haven't salted it at all. So add a little sprig of salt in there, mix it up. Oh baby, That's where it's at. Check this out. Look how easy that was to mix up, and look how velvety smooth this queso is. Guys, if you haven't seen the Woodwind Pro, you have to check it out. It is amazing. We added a smoke box to the front so we can add in hardwood directly to the pellet smoker, solving that day-old debate on do pellet smokers get enough smoke? It does. Not only that, but it has the sidekick. We did our queso on it, and now we're flipping it over to a flat top so we can saute up our pork. It is an absolutely rad cooking system. Check it out on our website. Hot griddle. Here's the pork. Look at all the extra fat in here. We made sure that after we smoked this pork butt, which by the way, if you wanna see how we smoked this pork butt, check out the link above me, right meow, somewhere over that way. But all that extra fat in the container is gonna start breaking down as it heats up. It's really gonna get a great flavor back into this pork as we sear it up. So not only are we heating up the pork, but because it was smoked, it has all the bark on it, all the seasoning, smoked really well, all the extra fat. So we're not just heating it up, we're gonna caramelize it. We're gonna cook it down, get that Maillard reaction across the fat, render down the proteins a little bit more, make sure it adds as much flavor, a little bit of crispiness as possible. Check this out. This is what you want when you're flat topping it. You want this extra crispy crust forming, that Maillard reaction, adding all that extra flavor into your pork. So not only did it smoke, but now we're gonna crisp it up before we make it into nachos. The color on this pork looks amazing. It is so crisped up on the bottom. A lot of that extra residual fat is rendered off, so it's not as greasy as it was before. Let's pull it off and clean our flat top. We're gonna layer all of that pork with all of that cheese, some beans, pickled red onions that I threw up, jalapeno. I didn't throw them up. I didn't regurgitate pickled red. I made pickled red onions. You know what I mean, YouTube. And chips, all together, super layered. Chips, pork, layer, onions, jalapenos, pour cheese, chips, pork, layer, and then when we're done, we're gonna and reveal.
Premiumbeat.com.
Guys, this is like 8 pounds of nachos. It had to be at least 4 pounds of queso. I think the only way is to do Can't have pulled pork without a little barbecue sauce. The creme de la creme, the little je ne sais quoi, the icing on the cake. What do? Do you dig into this or do you shake it up a little bit?
No, you go straight in. You go straight in.
I want wet boy.
Oh. I'm gonna go call my doctor, and I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe to our videos if you want to see more. I'll see you next time. Yeah, full of nachos. Hold on, I'll be back. What?